So all of the things that I've told hundreds of patients over the years about how to raise a healthy family, it's now put to the test. And I told all my patients, I said, if you see me doing something that I told you I would do, you're going to call me out on that. So I got a list of things that I'm required to do. So this class, I've been telling people all week, this class is about why certain people get sick and why other people don't. Have you ever had someone sneezing and snot and all around you, and for some reason they're always sick and you're, I don't know, you don't get sick? Or maybe you do get sick and your husband or wife doesn't. Has that ever happened? Oh, yeah. It happens all the time. So this class is specifically designed to help you understand the principles of life that govern all aspects of your life and keep you in either a sick state or a healthy state. All right? And the perfect analogy is soil and seeds, because soils and seeds represent some very powerful things. Okay? So we're going to play a little game. I'm going to say someone's name, and you're going to tell me what they invented.
Oh, what?
Thomas Edison.
Light bulb.
Electricity.
Yeah. He also invented the motion picture.
And the bifocals.
He invented a lot of things. I think he had over, I have here, I'm cheating, 1,000 patents. His most well-known patents or inventions were the light bulb, the phonograph, and the motion picture camera. Stud. The Wright brothers. Airplanes. Okay, we know that. But maybe you didn't know that they owned a bicycle shop before they developed the airplane. Because their first airplane, they rode on a bike. All right? Benjamin Franklin.
Oh, maybe he was the bifocals. Can I use that again?
He might be the bifocals. Electricity. Electricity. And he designed one of the earliest stoves for cooking. Is electricity. The Franklin stove. Nikola Tesla. The sweetest car on the road. Does anybody know what Tesla invented?
He was back with electricity.
You got it.
Too.
He was the
Motor.
developer of AC,
Yes, okay, that's
alternating current, which is now the #1 mode of electricity all around the world. You know, you plug into an outlet, it's AC, as opposed to DC, which is direct current. Tesla invented a bunch of different things. Here's one you might not know. Charles Babbage. First computer. Babbage, right? So these are good to know. He's the father of computers. James Watt. James Watt.
Is that where Watt came from?
W-A-T-T. Steam engine. Steam engine. Alexander Bell.
Telephone.
There you go. Telephone. You might like to know that his wife was deaf.
I know. Huh. That was cool.
Yeah. Galileo.
Telescope.
Yes, the telescope. See, these are good things to know. And then there's this guy. Anybody know who that is? Good old Louis Pasteur.
Yes. Start with the P.
Louis Pasteur. Yes, he did. He's the father of the germ theory. And we could talk for hours about this guy in itself. But he created the germ theory. And maybe you'll know, maybe you don't know, that the germ theory is the foundation for modern medicine. Because if we don't know we can't treat disease until we know what caused it. And until we have something to point the finger at, modern medicine doesn't really have a place in health. They don't know what to do. So Louis Pasteur, he actually had this theory that germs created disease and sickness. So if germs were present, bacteria was present, you would get sick. And some people they didn't quite get on board with that right away until he developed something that we all know called pasteurization. Pasteurization. So what he did was he took milk from a cow and he boiled it and heated it up. And when he did that, it killed the what? The germs and bacteria, and then people didn't get sick. So he said it must be the germ that makes us sick, and if we can kill the germs, then we won't get what? Sick. So this guy right here, he changed medicine so much that the entire paradigm and philosophy of medicine that you know to this day is based upon his germ theory. Notice it's a theory, because it's not exactly 100% accurate or true, and it's been proven to be actually inaccurate. However, we have 100 years worth of modern medicine that still is built upon this guy's theory. Now, call me crazy, but I tell people this all the time. Things that you used to do when you were young, you might not do anymore because there's a better way. Like, I have a newborn baby, and you see there's a car seat up front. My mom never had a car seat. Kids didn't have car seats. And if you go over other countries in the world, there are no such thing as car seats. You'll see 6 people riding on a motorcycle. There's better ways to do things now, and there's better ways to do healthcare now, because we can't hang our hat on something that maybe isn't true. So, how do we know it's not true? Because if I sneeze on you and I'm sick, you might not get what? You might not get sick. You see what the problem is? So we can't hang our hat on this theory, because we know that, yes, sometimes there does have to be a virus or a bacteria present. Agreed? But what if it is present and you don't get sick? There's something missing with this theory. Is everyone with me? Yep. And we cannot hang our hat on something that we now know there's a better way. So, I think this is nice because I use the analogy of a soil and a seed. So, let's talk about why do humans get sick and why do plants get sick? Because we're not that much different. I mean, yeah, we have a different genome and things like that. But when we look at this, you're going to go, holy smokes, what's the difference? Okay? One of my mentors says that the worst thing that happened in our healthcare system and in our lives and being healthy is we stopped thinking of ourselves like animals. Because if you come home from a long day of work and your dog looks at you and throws up on your feet, what's the first thing you're going to ask your husband or wife if they're standing right there?
Oh, clean it up.
Clean it up. Good. What's another question you might ask him? Dog must be sick. What did you feed him?
Oh, yeah.
So when your kids throw up on you, why don't we ask ourselves the same thing? We're animals, whether we want to admit it or not. And here's why humans get sick. Toxins. Now, if you can think of a different reason, grab me after class and let's talk about it. Because this is it. I've racked my brain over this. Toxins, deficiencies, toxins and deficiencies, emotional stress or thoughts. These things can make us very sick. If we wake up every day thinking we're sick, we're going to be sick. And traumas. Or a combination of all of those things. Okay? And because I'm a chiropractor and I care so much about your brain communicating with your body, a deficiency is decreased nerve supply. Okay? Why do plants get sick? Toxins, too much sun, too much air, bad soil, bad water. Deficiencies, not enough sun, not enough air, not enough CO2, not good soil, not enough water. Toxins and deficiencies, combination of both, or traumas. Wind, hail, rainstorms. You see, we're not that much different. So if we can take something really, really complicated that the whole model has taught, they make us think that health is the most complicated thing in our lives. And the reality is it's not that complicated if we just ask the right questions. Agreed? So every time we get sick, we should ask ourselves, what am I toxic in? What am I deficient in? What am I toxic and deficient in? Have I had any traumas? And what's going on inside of my brain? Am I thinking good thoughts or am I thinking bad thoughts? Because I know that if everyone in my family gets sick and I start thinking to myself, shoot, or if Calissa gets sick and then Allie gets sick and then Dr. Ashley gets sick and then the last one left, I'm thinking, I should be thinking two things. I should be thinking, I am not going to be next, or else I'm thinking I am going to be next. And which one do you think will let me be next? If I start thinking that, oh my gosh, I'm going to get it next, I guarantee you I'm going to get it next. It psychologically changes your chemistry and it decreases your immune system. All right? The unfortunate reality is that many, many aspects of our health, we have shown throughout time that there's a better way to do things and there's better questions to ask. So if I get sick, I should not be asking the question, what medication do I need to make me better? I should be asking myself, what am I toxic in? And if I'm toxic in something, how can I get rid of it? What am I deficient in? And if I'm deficient in it, how can I get more of it? If I've had some traumas, how can I unwind those traumas? And if I have some emotional traumas, how can I unwind those? You see, the medical system asks, what can I give you from outside your body that is foreign to your body to help make you healthy? See the problem? The flawed, I'm looking at my notes here, the flawed germ theory is responsible for things like antibiotics, hand sanitizer, vaccinations, medications, and the list can go on and on and on. Those things have gotten us in a lot of trouble. I just read a magazine from my alma mater, Penn State, and they released this article, and they said that there are now, as you know, superbugs that rule the hospital. The germ theory taught us that if we take away all of the germs, we will not get what? Sick. The hospital, the most sterile place on planet Earth, is the place that will give you the most deadly diseases on planet Earth. Do you see the problem? We now can contract superbugs that are directly resulting from decreasing our bacteria. Now we get these alien bacteria that didn't exist before, and they're so powerful there's no treatment on planet Earth for them. Okay? I read this article from Penn State, which is, they're pretty scientific. They have some pharmaceutical ties, as most colleges do. And they said in their research that the average antibiotic prescription was prescribed in a way off-label that it shouldn't have been prescribed. So for things like viruses, you can't prescribe antibacterial for a virus. Okay? So, and doctors are getting better now, but they're still not all the way up there. Okay? And I'm not criticizing doctors, but I'm saying we can't prescribe antibiotics the way that we have been for the past 30 years. So they're prescribed in the wrong fashion. And if they do prescribe them accurately and you do have a bacterial infection, they tell you, make sure you take these for how long?
10 days.
Don't stop early because what?
You'll get sick.
You'll get sick. Now the research is telling us that the average antibiotic, if taken for 3 days, gives the exact same results as if you finish the whole prescription. 3 days, same result. And in those 7 days where you're taking them, it's destroying all your other microbiome. Okay? In your gut. So, that antimicrobial stuff that we rub all over our hands, the germ spray, what that's doing is it's killing all the beneficial bacteria on our skin. So that when someone sneezes on you, the good guys can't outcompete the bad guys. So now you have a sterile skin surface, and now the bad guys are there, and then you do something, and now it gets in your system. Mark my word, the sickest people that you see are the people that have those little hand sanitizer clips on your belt. It's true. Yeah. It's 100% true. Enough on that. But what I want you to understand is that theory is what's gotten us in trouble. Okay? So, what does a seed need? Soil, water, sunlight.
Nutrients.
The same things we need. Okay? And what does a seed stand for? And this is what the beauty is of this whole class. These are some words that come to my mind when I think about a seed. One of the most magical things. You know, these pine trees, these ponderosa pine trees that grow to be 200 feet tall start from something a few millimeters wide. There's material in that seed to do a certain thing. And that same material exists within us to make our bodies do a certain special thing. And if you interfere with that wisdom that's in the seed, Like if you put it in, if you put a seed from an oak tree in our soil here, what's it going to do?
It's not gonna do anything.
Nothing. But if you put a pine needle or a pine cone with a pine nut or a pine seed in the soil here, what's it going to do? It's going to go like crazy. So if you take something that has infinite innate wisdom to grow and nourish and just turn into something magical and you interfere with it, you're going to screw it up. And that's what we've done. That's what our system has taught us. To interfere, you're not good enough to be healthy unless you have hand sanitizer. You're not good enough to be healthy unless you use antibacterial soap every time you shower. You're not good enough to heal naturally from that ear infection unless you take these drugs. Do you get what I'm saying? The whole system has taught us that we're not good enough. A seed represents the capability to developing something bigger. Right? Biltang seed, 200-foot tall tree. A seed represents life. A seed represents a new generation. Right? A seed represents potential. I mean, a seed can feed you forever if you nourish it properly. Dr. Ashley's grandma still saves seeds out of the garden. They're probably like 30-year-old seeds. That's amazing. Right? And a seed is food for us. This is a perfect representation for exactly what we do in our office. So here is the seeds. You have something perfect. That we even screw this up, don't we? We screw this up. We have something perfect that's designed to give us something perfect every single time. The expression is perfectly designed. We've existed on this planet for thousands of years, and it's perfect. And these seeds are doing the exact same thing. And we have to take perfect seeds, and we have to genetically modify them because those seeds are not good enough. You get it? The seeds aren't good enough to grow the right food. And we're not good enough. It's the same principle. It's flawed, and it's causing disastrous effects to humanity at this point. It's completely spun out of control. So every single thing that we do here in our office is teach you that you are, number one, you are good enough. If we decrease toxicities, increase deficiencies, rebalance both of those, if we eliminate your stressors or your physical traumas, and if we help teach you good things for your brain so you have positive thoughts, you can heal from anything on planet Earth. I learned over the weekend that we know more about our oceans than we do the human brain. And yet, how many things do we try and alter our brain chemistry with? Every single drug on the market. 300 lives are lost every day from medications. 300 people, direct cause of death, medications. Okay? We're good enough. We're 100% good enough. We're better. All right? So your body's your soil. And it doesn't matter how good the seed is if it's put in junky soil. So it doesn't matter what your potential could be. If you have junky soil and a junky environment for your life to flourish, you're not going to live your full expression. So that means if you have toxins, deficiencies, if you have decreased nerve supply, if you have interference from your brain to your body, your brain can't communicate with the cells in your body, you can't be your best. The story is all about you having the most opportunity to live your life's purpose and eliminate all the things from your life that will decrease your expression for your existence on this planet. Okay? So what are we feeding ourselves? I saw something really cool on Facebook. Facebook's good for certain reasons and it's bad for others. But I saw this really cool video over the weekend of a black rapper. He was amazing. And he said, I stopped rapping about all the negative things in this world, and I got rid of all the negativity out of my life. And now I sing and I rap about all the good things in this world. And he said, I didn't notice this when I first started my career. He said, if you hang out at strip clubs, you rap about strip clubs. And if you hang out in nature looking at the beauty of this world, you rap about the beauty of this world. And if you hang out with people that you love, you sing about love. He said, so I threw out my TV, I threw out my radio, I got rid of my cell phone, I got rid of the newspaper, I haven't read anything except good stuff. I listen to only good music now, and I make beautiful music that changes lives, where before I was just making music that entertained people. So he also said, what you're eating is not only feeding your body, but what you're listening to and what you're seeing and the things that people you're hanging out with is feeding your body. So all of your senses give you food. Your ears give you food, your eyes give you food, your mouth gives you food, and then you get to actually consume food. So every aspect of your life is feeding you. It's just choose to have the right food so that you can share your beauty with this world instead of... And nobody has a TV that looks like that anymore. It's funny. That's still how we associate a TV. You still do?
It is funny. I have our 1952 one out.
You're special. You're so special. So how are you feeding your body? What food are you putting into your body? How are you using? What type of health care are you choosing? Are you choosing real health care that focuses on your body expressing itself better, or are you focusing on symptomatic care and medicines and surgeries, which aren't always bad, but we can't have that be our main source of health care because that's for sick and dying people. What if you just want to be really, really healthy and well? What are we doing to stay really, really healthy and well? That's the health care I want. You know? I want to teach my kids, these are the things that we do every day to be healthy. Not, these are the pills that we take, and this is the stuff that we spray on our skin, and these are the sick food that we eat just because it's convenient. This is becoming more and more a reality right now because there's a difference. Okay? 8 days ago, Dr. Ashley popped a 9-pound baby out. And it was perfect. And we can't believe it. But for 40,000 years, humans did that in their cave. And we did this in our cave too. There's no different. I don't want, unless there's an emergency, I don't want to go to the sickest place on earth, the hospital, to introduce my new life. Unless there's an emergency. I want to have my baby in a natural environment where there's germs, and I want my baby to come into this world in a natural way. Easy for me to say, right? I didn't have to push it out. You see, if we introduce our babies into a world that's sterile, and there's superbugs and all this crazy stuff going on, we're starting off on the wrong foot. I might be crazy, but at least I have some logic to how I'm thinking. I do believe that. Okay? And when this baby came out, the first thing that I was thinking was, holy cow.
Wowie gazowie.
And the second thing I was thinking was, I want to make sure that she doesn't have a subluxation. I didn't even know it was a girl yet. But the first thing I did was, oh my gosh, I'm a dad. And then the second thing I was thinking was, I want to make sure that her brain's communicating with her body. Because I know that most people, not some, most people come into this world with misalignments in their spine that disrupt and block them from ever living their fullest potential. That's a fact. I know that. For their whole life, they'll never express themselves fully because of blockages between their brain and body. So first thing, holy cow. Second thing, I want to adjust her and make sure she's clear and connected.
I didn't know it was a her.
I know, I didn't know for 5 minutes. Then I almost fainted.
Okay, baby, you
Then I
can
almost
go.
fainted. Oh my God, it's a girl. My life's over. That's really what I said. I said, oh my gosh, it's a girl. If it was a boy, it would have been fine. But it's a girl. I'm like, I'm ruined. I'm ruined forever now.
Oh,
I'm
so full.
I'm a puddle of water for the rest of my life. Tears rolling down. Okay? Yeah, I'm totally ruined. I was not thinking about, let's get her vaccinated. Why would we take the most perfect, natural form of life, a baby? Because as soon as we start teaching them things, it changes. The most perfect expression of life, a newborn baby, why would we want to first put toxins into their system? Okay? There's a huge difference in this philosophy that I'm sharing with you. And, I mean, everything's changed for me. You know, someone told me that you changed. I said, how do you know? And they said, you look tired. And I'm like, I'm not tired. But that was a funny joke. I said, everything's completely changed for me. Because when you live through it, which many of you in this room have lived through this experience, you think about your whole life differently. And I think about, how can I make this baby, how can I provide for this baby and give this baby a good soil, a good foundation so that she can grow and prosper? And I challenge all of you to ask that question for yourself, your spouse, your family, your kids, or whoever it might be. Because this is the truest form of life. And why would we want to screw that up? And if we can ask those questions, I want my dog licking my kid as many times a day as possible. Because I want as much of that bacteria on her so that she can develop the strongest immune system on planet Earth. You get it? If we can ask ourselves the right questions, we can end up with the right result, or what we're hoping for in life. So, what many people don't know, and this is debated, all right, but I'm going to tell you this because I actually do believe this because I've studied Pasteur a lot. On his deathbed, the claim is that he said, I got it all wrong. And he didn't want his legacy to be left on the germ theory because he felt that he had maybe led us astray. Because it's not the germs that make us sick, it's the environment that makes us sick. Because if you have a healthy environment, your body can defend itself against the craziest things known to man. It's a miracle that we don't die every day because of the things we're exposed to. You've got to believe that. And your immune system is hard at work keeping you alive every second of every day. Fighting cancer, fighting viruses, fighting bacteria. There's probably bacteria on my carpet that would kill you if you didn't have a functioning immune system. Definitely, surely. All right? So he says he got it wrong. But it was too late because the medical foundation had already hung their hat on it. All right? It's as crazy to think that germs cause disease and sickness as it is to think that rats cause trash. Rats just live where there's trash. Germs and bacteria and viruses, they just prosper in people who have an unhealthy environment because they don't last a second in people who have the army waiting. And that's what I want to leave you with. All right? This is a huge, huge opportunity to share this with people that you know. And until we start having conversations like this, we're not going to be healing. Okay? You guys are the rock stars of this community.